My name's Tom Wright and I work at Go Creative and Accounts Coordinator role. I finished my intermediate apprenticeship on February 2012 and I've been at Go Creative since November 2010, for 2 years.
Oh, hello Tom, my name is Elena. I work for Qdos Training Limited and I'm here to interview Tom about his experience as an apprentice. So first of all, obviously you have finished your apprenticeship and you are now in a full-time position with Go Creative.
Yeah.
So let's go back to how it all started in the beginning.
It all started, I was still at college, I was at Lutterworth College doing the AS levels. My motto was, when I got to the GCSE level, was to carry on going to college and going to university. I started doing my AS levels and it just didn't feel right. So I was looking at what other options I had in place where I could just go right into the work industry and just work for some old factory, or keep on grinding with the college work, or just look into apprenticeship. And that's what I started having a look around apprenticeship. I went on the apprenticeship.org website to see what vacancies was out and about in my local area, and then this one came along at Go Creative, which was supported by the Qdos apprenticeship scheme. Applied for the Qdos, and then Vinny spoke to me from Qdos about the different options what were available, not just Go Creative, where there's other different companies as well which we're looking to take on. So it was quite a very welcoming hello from Vinny on the phone when he first found out I was interested in looking to do an apprenticeship.
So how many interviews did you have altogether?
I had 2 at Go Creative. So I would say they do like the first interview where they get to know you, see what sort of person you're like, and where I also brought that a bit of research about Go Creative into the interview, where I looked up to that. That's what I thought was the main part of that. For I would recommend that to anyone doing an interview is find research out. Second interview was on about what the sort of jobs I would be doing, and just some practical tests really, like the scenario where it would be if I was answering the phone to a customer, what action would I take to it. If the customer was very annoyed, how would I say, I wouldn't shout back at the phone down to them, I would be calm with them, I'll take the information down, speak to the line manager to give you a call back. So it's just little scenarios like that in the second interview, just see if they knew if you was up to the job.
Before your first interview, how did you prepare for it?
I've done some inside information, from my mum, who's an HR manager. So I just asked her, like, from my parents, how what sort of questions they would ask, and the sort of questions that they will ask is what do you know about Go Creative? So that's when I went onto the internet, found out about Go Creative. At the time they were 7 years old. How many people, what sort of industry they do. So that also helps because it shows to your interviewer that you're keen to work for the company. And also just be confident, just be yourself. That's how I was to the interview. Go in there, be yourself. If they do like you, they will take you on. That's what I believe the first sort of interview is to see if you're the right person to fit into the workplace.
And why do you think they've chosen you?
I feel I give a lot to the company. I feel I play a lot of sports outside the workplace, where I play football, play cricket, so they can see I'm a team player, which I do is vital in any workplace, which is a massive gain to have really. And some sets of achievements where I've won county trophies and stuff like that is confidence as well. And I feel I am confident, but I'm also that sort of person who's willing to help other people, and I think that's the sort of person that Go Creative like to have, and to work, and obviously to work hard and add the best for Go Creative.
So, what did your parents think about you doing an apprenticeship?
The parents at first were a bit annoyed out of their college, but then also they was happy that I still wanted to learn, and also getting a bit of money as well. But then obviously my rent came into place. So yes, they were still happy that I just didn't want to go to a old warehouse and work there, shifts and stuff like that. They still were happy that I wanted to gain some money, but then also learn as well at the same time. So,
right, so you're quite career orientated.
yeah, I like, as of like the sports as well, I like to achieve the highest possible way you can go, really. Like you want to play the highest standard of that certain sport, but also you want the highest career you can possibly have. So yeah.
So when you first joined Go Creative, what was your apprenticeship position?
I was in a sales role, like a sales assistant role, where I would be helping the two main sales line managers with at that time we was looking at getting new ranges together for our main customer at the time, which it was Matalan. So that was where we'll get the new ranges together, which will help our design, what products certain factories could do. We'll get briefs in from the customer saying they might want a ceramic diamante tumbler or a ceramic diamante soap dispenser. So then we would need to go to certain factories we knew and say, look, can you do this product, and with a price, and then we'll start. And then the next process is negotiate the price with the customer to us, but then also negotiate the price with us to the factory. So then with the so by the time we get to operations, when an order's raised from the customer, that's all been resolved, and then it passes on to operations, who will be organised the shipping.
All right, and what job are you doing now?
I'm now in the accounts role, so I've gone from one end to the other end. Well, that came along about 4 or 5 months into my Qdos apprenticeship. I've always enjoyed doing accounts because I've always been maths-minded. Maths one of the strongest subjects at school, and it came along with due to one of the employees leaving and then I literally just went to them and said, look, can I give this a go? See what happens. See what happens. See if it works well. If it don't work well, I'll come back to sales. I've gained knowledge in sales. So yeah, it was like a small open gate just to see if that could be what I want to do in life, or it might be I still want to do sales. But I've been in the accounts role for now about a year and just over a year and a half.
Right. And how do you feel? Obviously, you started doing an IT application specialist apprenticeship to do with Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook. How do you feel that have contributed to your roles?
Especially in both the sales and accounts, depending on the different programs, have helped me. For example, the Excel spreadsheets have helped me more in accounting, especially. But then the sales one would probably say your PowerPoints as well when you try and design your ranges for the customer. So overall, all four, and including Access, which is we use a similar system like Access, which is it's built like an Access system, which has also helped me, and it's helped me at Go Creative.
So if you had a choice when you first started, obviously you started in a sales role, and you were doing an IT application specialist apprenticeship. If you were to rewind the situation, would you choose to do a more specific apprenticeship, or would you still choose to do the IT?
I would still choose to do the IT apprenticeship at the time, the age of 17, because I still wasn't 100% sure. I believe before you can't say what you want to do before you get into the working environment, because you just don't know what it's going to be like. It's so much different from doing an exam at school compared to actually doing it in a workplace, because you get time deadlines, you could get pressure speaking on the phone to customers. That all comes into play. So I would still recommend the IT apprenticeship because it still gives you that optional route of going down. For example, in Go Creative, we've got 3 main departments where we've got a sales department which do all the ranges and stuff like that. We've got the operational department which involves all the shipping, which involves a lot of Word, a lot of bit of Excel work, bit of PowerPoint work as well, and then you've got accounting, which is a lot of work with your Excel and your Outlook, which is Outlook's a priority, main vital thing to have in the company for all of us, because we have to make sure we're very clear speaking to the Chinese suppliers we do have, because they don't always understand the English, so we have to be very simple, put into complete easy font, and etc. like that. Yeah.
So, what would you be your biggest achievement to do with using your IT skills?
It is in the workplace, work with a new project I've done. I'll call it the original document spreadsheet. Basically, we ship containers from China to the United Kingdom to our main customers, which are Hof and Matalan. And we never really had any system in place to keep control of that, to know when we need to pay the suppliers, or because we was getting fines from the supplier. So what I produced was the spreadsheet, a couple of word sheets, I must say, to keep a record, and it was like a cost saving for the company. Because after 7 days from when the container comes, if it's not been released, we get charged for rent. What we need to do to get the container released is pay the supplier. But because you've got so many shipments going on, you didn't know which ones were coming in first, which ones were coming later. So we just need a sort of a bit of a database, bit of an ongoing database to keep that going. I believe that we worked out when we first done that, for the last 6 months we saved about £15,000 doing that rent, which probably costs for my job. but it's one of the proud things, because it's used now in the director's reports and stuff, and it was never used before at Go Creative. So it's one thing I'm hoping that Go Creative will use a long time, even if it's me doing it or in the future someone else doing it. But it's a vital thing now in Go Creative, just due to the sort of company we're in.
That's quite impressive what you've done. You have really made a difference in the business and ultimately saved money. So no wonder you've been offered a job.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm double pleased, because it's been to do with the IT skills that you have learnt with us at Qdos training.
Yeah. Yeah, with that there's been like formulas which I've learnt at Qdos training, which with like the sum, also pivot tables have come into place, and then formulas have come along where we've brought them from one sheet to the other. So certain skills which I've learnt at Qdos have come into play with this spreadsheet, and they're still used now, the formulas.
That's very impressive.
Yeah.
So how was your, let's go back to beginning again, how was it different being in a job to your experience at college?
It's very different because the people who are around you, for example, I was the youngest person at the workplace, so maturity is one thing where you're working with a lot of older people. Mature, you're not with your friends, you actually work to get your work done, and that's what my main thing is. And I must say myself, since I've been here, I've got more mature day by day, and that's just with the certain people I'm working with, which I think is great, really, to be fair. I could have the university style of life I wanted to, but I wanted to crack on, get some money in them about work as well, and you make new friends as well from it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And how were you supported during your apprenticeship by Qdos?
There was like a mother. Literally, if we had any problems, we could give them a call. If we didn't want to talk to anyone at work about it, we could call them. Also, when we had the training days, we had plenty in advance of them, so it was like really well organised. And they're just always there for you. You always felt you could just pick the phone up to speak to anyone at Qdos. And then also when we'd done tests, we got our results quickly, which it wasn't like if there was, you're at Go Creative now, that's it. But they were just there to help you about and stuff like that, which is good to have. It was like a helping hand. It was good to always have that.
Excellent, thank you very much. And what would you say to a person that might be considering in between maybe college, uni route or an apprenticeship route, or go straight into work route?
I would say, due to seeing the university at the moment where the fees are going up and there's a lot of people trying into universities and they can't, I think apprenticeships is the best way forward, because you can earn some money at the same time but also learn at the same time and learn on the job, and learning on the job is a very important thing. It's good to have, because you'll get experience at the same time. So doing an apprenticeship, going into a workplace at the same time and getting that experience while learning, plus also you gaining money, it's really good to have, to be fair. It's a good way to go forward. And also you can see what career path you might want to do. You might, for example myself, I went there as a sales role, but then I found myself in an accounts role, because that's where I firmly believe at this current stage of my life, that's what I want to do, into working accounts.
Obviously with apprenticeship, we're talking about apprenticeship wage, which isn't a lot. We're talking around about £400 a month. How did you find that?
It was good. It was a gain to me at the time. It wasn't like if it was a wage decrease. If I was going at college, I was working the part-time hours where I'll probably getting the same, if less than that. I still kept on the part-time as well, working, just as extra money as well. But like with the money I got from the apprenticeship, I could start saving, put some money into my car, which I've got now, put money to my lads' holidays, and I've got that motto: if you work hard, you get your rewards out of it, and that's how I see it now as I stand here in the accounts coordinator role.
So you've been offered a full-time job.
Yeah.
And are you happy with your financial situation now?
Yeah, of course everyone wants a bit more money. But yes, if I see myself 2 years ago and went down the university lifestyle, I could be put myself into a student loan debt now. But then that's why I've enjoyed this apprenticeship, because I've learned at the same time, but also gained money, and then I'm not myself in debt. So at the moment I'm really happy where I stand at the moment. Yeah.
Right. Thank you very much, Tom.
Yeah.